If you're taking A-Level Economics, you'll know that the effective use of diagrams is such a big part in terms of helping you produce effective responses to A-Level Economics questions. So we've got a great resource at tutor2u Economics to help you develop that skill. It's the diagram practice book, the separate versions for AQA and Edexcel. And I wanted to catch one of the team who've put the diagram practice books together, Ruth, to help me get an understanding as to the concept behind the resource and why it's such a useful thing for A-Level Economics students to have. So great to see you again, Ruth.
Hello.
Do you want to give me an introduction to the diagram practice books, and then perhaps we can put them on screen for a minute or so to show students how to get hold of their copies?
So diagrams are one of the most fundamental parts of what we call the economist toolbox. And in exam questions, you'll often get questions that ask you to specifically use a diagram to illustrate a concept or a scenario. But even questions that don't specifically ask for a diagram often expect you to include one as part of your analysis or even your evaluation. So they're really, really fundamental to getting the highest possible marks. Examiners are expecting to see diagrams scattered throughout your exam papers. Now, that's all well and good, but the more you practice them, the easier that's going to be when it comes to the exam. Now, one of the things that we've often been asked at tutor2u is, please could you provide a list of all the diagrams I need to learn? And our response has always been, well, there's not really a specific list, because what you need to be able to do with your diagrams is know the base diagrams and know all the lines and the axes. But every question where you use a diagram, you have to do something with the diagram. It could be indicating an area, it could be explaining the shape of a line, it could be shifting a curve and seeing what the impact might be. So the diagram practice book takes you through all of those particular aspects and skills. So we start by practicing what the diagrams are, how to draw them. But then we move into those essential exam skills. So we provide scenarios, we provide data, and you annotate diagrams that are in the book. You might have to draw some of them completely from scratch, but you're building those skills and developing the confidence by actually manipulating diagrams to do what you want them to do, which is to help you explain the link between cause and effect and how that might explain a particular topic for the examiner. So there's lots of microeconomic diagrams in there, there's lots of macroeconomic diagrams, and it's really a book that grows with you throughout the course. So in year 12, obviously you'll only meet around half of the diagrams that you need, but we've included all of those because they're just as important. So it's the kind of book you could buy at the start of the course and fill in the bits as you go, practicing with the bits that you've already been taught and know how to do. And then as you move through the more complex aspects, particularly in the second year of the course, you can then work on those bits. So you could use it the whole way through. Or if you're getting towards the end of year 13 as well, and you think, I could really do with practicing some of the demand and supply from last year, or the basics of aggregate demand and aggregate supply, there's lots of practice there as well for you to go back and practice that.
So it's perfect for revision as well, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic for revision. You can use it in so many different ways, but the key for all of the team putting it together was, how do we link the diagrams to what you need to be able to do in an exam?
Superb. It sounds great. I mean, I'll just put it on the screen now. I've just found the link on the tutor2u Economics site. If you go to tutor2u.net/economics and go to the store, there's actually a selection of the diagram practice books there, separate ones for AQA and Edexcel. Oh, got a couple of pictures on the screen there, Ruth. And in terms of, you've mentioned sort of the series of activities that encourage students to build relevant diagrams based around the scenarios provided. Are there sort of worked solutions, completed diagrams that students can access to see how they've got on?
There are. So the books come with a QR code on the back, which you can simply use your phone camera to access. And that link will take you to worked answers. And the way we've done the worked answers, we've actually taken the book in PDF form and adapted them in exactly the same way that you would see them. So, we have drawn on the diagram, so they will look like your answers.
Okay, got it.
That was a really good way of doing it.
Superb. So obviously we'd encourage students to have a go at the activities before they check to see how they've done. But that's great. It's very reassuring to know that then they could then go check and see how their particular attempt or a particular diagram, how it compares with somebody who's had a chance to have a go as well. So that's fantastic. Dead easy to get hold of these resources. As I say, just go to the economic store and add them to your cart, and we will do our best to send them out to you as quickly as we can. They're a fantastic resource that goes along with the other resources like the calculation practice books and the synoptic exercise books for paper 3. So it's just a question really of picking the right exam board and then choosing the workbooks that you think are going to be most useful.
Absolutely. There's a whole range there now that will be so supportive in revision. They're phenomenal resources and such a great pack.
Diagram practice books, you can't ask any more of a resource than that. That's fantastic. So once again, a huge thanks to you, Ruth, and the whole of the team. It's a big team who put these resources together, both setting the questions and the activities, designing the booklets, but then also, as you say, doing the worked solutions and the extra resources that come with it. So many thanks. If this is a resource that you think is going to be useful for you, just go to the economic store, pick the right exam board, and we'll get them out to you, and you can get straight to work practicing your skills with diagrams. So Ruth, many thanks.
Absolute pleasure.